Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. It's cup of tea time, so that can only mean another Noodle film review. Today we're looking at a classic 1980s British gangstery drama film. Okay, we're looking at Mona Lisa, okay, which is one of my favourite films from the 80s. This stars Bob Hoskins, Kathy Tyson, Michael Caine and Robbie Coltrane. Hang on 1 minute, guys. Come on, Sullivan. Yeah, he's a good boy. So, yeah, it's all based in the sort of 1980s London. It was a bit difficult to get sort of... cheers, by the way. It's got my Christmas cup today in February. There we go. Why not? It's a bit of a difficult one to do a review on, because trying to grab clips from this film is quite difficult because there's quite a bit of music on there. The soundtrack is pretty much done by Nat King Cole, and there's a bit of music in there as well from Genesis and stuff. But I managed to get a few clips, so I can't promise it's going to be the most riveting synopsis. But I'll give you a little synopsis of the film. The film starts off with Bob Hoskins. He's come out of prison. He's been in there for about sort of 7 years. He's done 7 years in prison for Michael Caine. Obviously, they've done something, and he's kept it hush-hush and gone and done bird for it. So he's now out, and he's gone back home to visit his wife and daughter.
Yeah? Do you want Mum? Mum? Julie, get inside. Inside. No, you just can't do this to me. You're going to fucking look. I'll just a minute. She don't know you, George, and she don't want to know you.
She's my daughter. You can't do this to me. I ain't going to see her. You can't do this to me. I'm sorry. You can't. And you can't say hello.
So I love that clip there when he sort of sees his daughter for the first time for like 7 years or so, and now she's probably grown up, because she was probably a little toddler then, but now she's like a schoolgirl, like a secondary schoolgirl. So he's missed out on 7 years of her life. So you could see that in his face, and hers as well was a little bit like, yeah, what do you want, sort of thing, you know, because obviously she doesn't. I think she's not been told. Her mother hasn't told him that he's gone away to prison. I think she's probably just told him he's just gone, because she probably didn't. She was too embarrassed to say something. But as you can see, the mother doesn't want him there. So, but you know, he's quite upset about it. You know, I've only come to say hello. You know what I mean? And anyway, then obviously she shuts the door and he walks away. And then he notices his old neighbourhood's changed, and it's full of like different sort of ethnic groups. I think before he was there, it might not have been like that again. But it's changed a lot, and they're all staring, watching him.
You're going to clean all that up? Hey, take it easy, boys, okay? Hey, just let me, right? Man's upset, okay? That's the right word, George, eh? Upset. So where'd they all come from? They live here. Since when? Since you went inside. Did you get my last book?
Yeah. Should have been the driver, though.
Who should it have been then?
I could pin him in the first chapter.
Well, who should it have been then?
The Chinese fella who fed the goldfish.
And as you can see, his old buddy, played by Robbie Coltrane, comes along and sort of helps him out. And they start talking a bit of jibber-jabber about books. I think while he's been inside, Robbie Coltrane's been sending him like books and stories, and they've been sort of like sharing thoughts and that on the books, which is quite cool and quite nice. Anyway, then they find in Bob Hoskins gets a nice surprise, seeing that Robbie Coltrane has saved his, still got his Jag. So they go out for like a little car ride, and Bob Hoskins sees this pet shop, and he goes in there to buy a rabbit.
You got a big white rabbit with long floppy ears?
No, but we have one with short ears.
What's his name?
His name is Arthur. He's over here.
Oh, right. Here, dude, yeah.
What is this, George?
It's a rabbit.
You're not going to start all that business again, are you? Eh?
Yeah. Why not?
Look, George, you can't go in there.
Why not? It's different. Well, is he different too?
Very different.
I will see.
Come on, George, you're not going in there.
I've done 7 years for him, Thomas.
Listen, George, you don't know what they're up to now.
I don't give a fuck. Give us the rabbit.
No, listen, oi, what do you want it for?
I'm going to give it to him.
It's up to you.
So he's brought this rabbit to take to his old boss, Michael Caine. It's probably some sort of it means something, you know, symbolistic between these sort of criminal gangs sort of thing, about the White Rabbit, you know, like he's escaped, he's out, you know what I mean, and he's back sort of thing. It probably means something along then. So then we catch up with Bob Hoskins gone to like a boozer, a pub which I think Michael Caine owns, and he speaks to one of the guys there who remembers him.
He'll have a lettuce and I'll have a Bloody Mary.
George. Yes, right. This is Arthur. What are you doing here?
Looking for Maltwell, Terry. Bit of work, you know. What do you do now?
Whatever comes up.
Yeah, but this is a knocking shop.
Leave it out, George.
So where is he?
Oh, well.
Yeah.
It's not around.
Well, he must be somewhere.
Better ask Dudley, George.
Through there.
Anyway, because what he's gone back to see Michael Caine about is because, like, he wants some work. He wants to be helped out because he's just gone and done 7 years for him, whatever he's done it for. We're not really explained. So anyway, the Michael Caine's men or gang, whatever, they get him some work as a driver. So they've given him like again, it's a pager, which he probably never knew before he went into prison. But he's been given a pager, and when it goes off, he's got to go to that to pick up and be a driver. So he just goes to show it to Robbie Coltrane.
What? I can't understand it. How's that little thing? It's supposed to go bleep wherever I am.
Well, it bounces off the post office tower, George. Miracle of modern technology.
Yeah, but it hasn't got an aerial or nothing.
Oh, it doesn't need one. I'll show you, right?
What's that? Is that going?
No, that's just a tester to see if it's
What are you
making a
doing?
noise.
Fuck about with it, for Christ's sake. You've been pulling that big knob and jug. Bet you buggered it.
What do you think?
What do you do? Melt it down and eat it?
No, they're ornamental, George.
Ornamental spaghetti?
Right. I reckon that'll go a bomb.
Where'd you get it?
Contacts, George. Can't find plastic spaghetti just anywhere.
So who wants some ornamental spaghetti? Oh dear. It's quite eccentric in this Robbie Coltrane. He gets some sort of daft sort of, I think he's some sort of like some sort of artist sort of guy, and he likes to do sort of like sculptures and stuff out of weird things. And that's quite cool. Anyway, so his beeper goes off, and then he goes to his first sort of like job.
Where's the bar? Take a seat, sir, and I'll take your order.
So he turns up at this really posh sort of hotel, dressed as like well, like a London gangster, if you like, you know, really sort of like, you know, just rubbish look. And so he's getting looked upon by everyone that works there. And then we meet Kathy Tyson.
Thank you, sir.
Doing business.
Darling, sorry I kept you. Darling.
Thanks, mate. What do you think this is, the honeymoon hotel? Look, do you have business in this hotel, or can I really help you?
So you can see straight away that the relationship between these two sort of does sort of grow throughout the film, but there's a special sort of magic between the two characters playing off one another, and I really like that. So now we join them when she's just finished another job at another hotel.
Want a drink? They don't seem to serve you here. I've done it wrong again, haven't I? Okay, I've got it wrong, that's all. What do you expect? I'm not used to working in pissholes like this.
So once again, Bob Hoskins got it all wrong again. I mean, last time she took his arm and he was leading her out, and he tried to do the same this time, but again, he got it wrong. And then she sort of like goes to this like really posh house, and she's sort of like, you know, she kind of likes him, I think, and he likes her, but they're just sort of like getting to know each other. Anyway, the next place she wants to go and visit is King's Cross.
What did you do like about me? Oh, come on now. Like a chocolate sandwich.
Damn market, isn't it?
Shut up. Try one, please.
And that?
You leave me here.
Good night, then.
You have to get yourself some clothes.
Why would I have to get myself some clothes?
If you're to drive me, here, use this.
I'm not having you paying me.
Why not?
You don't even like me.
I can claim it.
So she's gone King's Cross just to have a look for someone. So she's looking for someone. That's what we get from this story at the moment. And then she drives him. Then he drives her back to the flat, and she gives him some money to she said, well, if you're going to drive for me, you've got to look the part. So she's given him a wad load of money to buy some clothes. And then he turns up the next day in these new clothes. So he turned up and he looks even more like a pimp than before. absolutely horrendous. He's like got. He must have come from the fashion school of Del Trotter. But there we go. Anyway, so their friendship seems to build up over a little while, and they start to gain to trust each other. And she takes him shopping again.
Yes. They're pure silk.
Please.
Do you like men's clothes?
Sometimes. How goes the thin stripe?
It's classy.
Herringbone?
You look at that, you know. Right?
It's lovely. What do you think?
What do you want to wear men's clothes for?
I don't. It's for you.
So now he's got like a proper suit, what she wanted in the first place. So he's all dressed up now, and she breaks to him about she's looking for a young girl that she's sort of become friends with, and it's got mixed up in this sort of almost like a grooming sort of gang, and she wants him to find her. And sort of like find out where she is. Anyway, we join them again at she's on another job, and Bob Hoskins sees his old boss, Michael Caine. So he goes up and confronts him, and say, I thought you were going to look after me. I've done 7 years for you.
What am I doing here, right?
I didn't say that.
I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry. It's bad to be sorry.
Hello, mate.
Hello, Rashid. This is George.
Boris, to be up there. How'd you get on the other night? Did you go?
Come on, George.
Oh, I'm sorry, but I've been trying to contact you.
Wasn't Dudley looking after you?
Oh, yeah, he is. But, mate, there's nothing like a personal touch, is it? 7 years.
This isn't the time. This is business, George.
But we've got a lot to talk about.
So we have. I'll ring you.
You promise?
I promise.
A bit later on in the film, we know a few other things sort of happen along the line, and he's discovered, this is where we get to the story where we find out that she's looking for this young girl, and they're back at King's Cross again, and they sort of like get confronted by one of the sort of pimps on the bridge. And I must warn you and apologise now for the one use of the N word.
Mate, you as fast as you can.
Maybe it's for her, eh?
I've got a daughter at that age.
She's not that.
Jesus. Yeah, shall we go?
I'm good. I do French. 2 things. I'm very good.
Well, go home to your mother, yeah?
I know you're tight. Well, but you won't pay for it, will you? I've seen you before.
Go on, piss off!
Adios!
Is that you, Rosie? I'll fix the bastard. You don't want to, you fuck off, man, and you take your fucking motor with you. You, what'd you do?
Drive! George!
If Anderson finds you, he'll cut your face off.
Drive! Would you?
You nigger.
Stop it! Come on, get fucking out of here!
Yeah, I must apologise for that. But that was the time, that's the film that sort of language was not as inappropriate as it is today. So again, the film is of its time. You've got to remember this is probably the early 80s. So they've had that little altercation there, and they drive off, and then they go back to Kathy Tyson's flat, and she explains to him about the girl that's gone missing. And so he agrees to go looking for her. So he goes around all the sort of like strip joints, all the sort of Soho joints and everything. It's great seeing some of the old London because I recognise a lot of the places. Hey, not because I used to go to those places. I did. I used to go to Soho quite a lot because there was a few record shops I used to go to there, and a few venues, gigs and stuff. I used to go there. Even nightclubs, I used to go there in the sort of late 80s. But yeah, I see a lot of old London where I used to go, so that's really cool. Um, but yeah, so this story starts to take then a turn towards um, criminal activities like grooming, drugs, and all sorts of things, and it takes loads of little turns. So what's going to happen? Are they going to find the girl that this woman's looking for? And Bob got mixed into something that he can't deal with. We don't know. Well, I know. If you want to know, you need to watch it and find out, because that's all I'm going to tell you. I've given you a good 30-minute synopsis of the film. The film's amazing. It is one of my favourite sort of London sort of films. Like, I'm not a big sort of London sort of gangster films. I'm not into those sort of films really at all. Now and again, there's an odd one that comes out. There are quite a few in the 70s. A lot of Michael Caine films I used to love in the 70s, like Get Carter and things like that, which I loved. But when this was probably one of the latter ones that I liked, and after them, this become not my thing because it's all about bad language and all about, and it's just trying to, and I don't like it. Like Ray Winston films, I'm not a fan of Ray Winston. I don't like his films at all. It's just not my sort of cup of tea. But this is on a different level. It touches on some really sort of like harsh subjects like prostitution, like grooming. So it can be a bit of it's a difficult watch, but you know, seeing some, like you see some young girls getting involved with this sort of like prostitution and their sort of pimps sort of controlling them. It's not good, but that happened in films in the 70s, like Taxi Driver. So it's got that sort of feel to it. Um, it's an amazing film. Now, the pluses of this Arrow edition is the transfer's great. It's got some great grain in there, which I like. It's really, really cool. It hasn't lost anything. It's still really good to watch today. Bob Hoskins is amazing in it. Him and his relationship with Robbie Coltrane it's a relationship made in heaven. Fantastic. And I like the relationship between Kathy Bates and Bob Hoskins too. And Michael Caine is great as a villain. So it's got some great pluses in it. And it's not too violent, okay? The minus is, yes, the story could be a bit uncomfortable for some people because it does touch on prostitution. It does touch on child grooming and sort of drugs and things like that, how they control these girls with drugs. So it's not the best sort of storyline, but you guys, you've probably seen films like it already, like Taken is not too different from it, is it really? Or Tell No One's a French film. But yeah, it's a really cool film and I love it. Absolutely brilliant. So I'm going to score this an awesome watch and give it a 9 out of 10. It's a great film. It was great to pick this up and see it again after all these years. I brought this because it was on TV about a month or so ago, and I just saw about 2 or 3 minutes of it when I was flicking through channels, and I thought, oh my God, yeah, I remember. I loved that film. I must try and pick that up. And lo and behold, it's on Arrow Video. So I thought, oh, yeah, definitely picking that up then. That's really, really cool. Absolutely dead chuffed to pick it up. And it's great to have it in my collection. Mona Lisa, 9 out of 10. Great movie. Any of you guys seen it? If you have, let me know down below what you thought of it. I thought it was really cool. Although the subject is quite a harsh sort of subject. I think it was Neil Jordan's direction of it has been really, really cool. He's done it in a tasteful way. You know, it's not too extreme or anything like that. Yes, the language then, like I said about the N word. But back in the day, it wasn't such a taboo word as such, back then as it is today. You know, I'm not saying it was right to say that because it's not, but that's just what it was then. You know, and that's how these pimps and these guys talked. You know, and they probably still do today. I wouldn't know. I know I don't go around that circuit, but yeah, I absolutely really love the film. It's such a cool film. There is another one I think Arrow do of his that I love. That's A Long Good Friday. I'd love to pick that up as well at some point. That's another Bob Hoskins film which I really enjoy. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching this review. Look after yourselves, look after one another, and I really hope I see you all soon.